Marcus, Mark, how are we, mate? What a week of footy. Huh? How good?
Well done. That was good.
Thanks, mate. I've been waiting to get you back, but that was good, wasn't it?
That was good. Yeah. Well, that was a lot more Marky than Quinny, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, can I just say, to start the podcast off, if you're watching or you're not watching, I'll give a bit of a description. Pipes aside, you're looking very good tonight. I don't know. It's something about the colours you've got on. It's a beautiful, beautiful shade of yellow and black that you're wearing there.
Looks like I've vomited all over myself, just like your mate from 10 years ago.
Oh, jeez. Mario from Templestowe.
Do we have the bite for that still? No, you probably would have got rid of it. Oh, well.
This one?
Fine.
I vomited all over myself. I want everyone.
Relevant to how I'm feeling right now.
And to see what Richmond's done to you.
Yeah.
Well, do we start with that?
Let's start there.
You've been
definitely.
fired up all weekend. I don't think we've ever sort of had a dig at each other in the 4 years I've known you, but this weekend it got pretty fiery.
I don't think it was nothing personal.
Not personal,
it was
but
more
we were giving it each other. You gave me a lol at the end of a message, which seemed pretty sassy. So
Did I?
you gave me a lol, so I'm like, oh, he's sassy. He's not happy about this. But let's get into the week, or Thursday night, I should say. It feels like a while ago.
Well, I said when I rocked up here tonight, I said lucky the game was all the way back last Thursday, because if we did this, or if the game was played on a Saturday or Sunday, this could have been pretty interesting. I was raging, not raging because of the performance from the Blues, just what happened throughout that night, like many moments, and I mean the main one in particular was the umpiring, which, as you know, I hate people. I don't hate people, but I'm never one to bash umpires and say that they have a direct impact on the result of the game. But I thought on Thursday night that was pathetic. It was the worst umpiring I've ever seen. Some blatant free kicks, and it wasn't free kick Richmond, as what some people are saying. It was no free kick Carlton. They just weren't paying anything to us. But then if you look at the free kick count, it was pretty even. But I just feel like the context around some of the free kicks were really bad. So yeah, and then I think it was just Rich from Richmond supporters afterwards to tell us to settle down and brush it aside, because they've been complaining about that all year. I think that's what really grinded my gears, was the Richmond supporters carrying on after it, and the contradictive messages that were coming out of their mouths.
It's like you forget round one.
Not saying,
it's like you
not
forget
saying
round
you
one, mate.
personally, but in round one, are you talking about all those 50-metre penalties that were all there?
Oh, I don't think they were all there. I'd love to go back and have a watch.
Yeah.
I think you kicked about 6 goals from 50-metre penalties in round one, and what'd you win by?
Yeah, but we were the better team on the night, that round one. I felt.
You had a better last quarter. Well, 30 point.
You were 20 points up and lost by 6 goals.
Yeah, so you had
in
a
the
great
space of
last
a
quarter.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
for the majority of the game, we were better.
Thursday night. By the way, Richmond were 100 times better than Carlton. Let's just get that out there firstly. You played unbelievable. I thought that was Richmond of old. Classic, ferocity at the contest, and really just smashed our midfield, which has been our biggest asset all year.
Well, I was going to say, that's actually the one thing I think we did do really well, was the midfield battle.
Killed us.
Well, we learnt from round one. I think it helps as well that Dion Prostia didn't get injured in the first quarter and actually played and probably was best on ground. With, he had 13 clearances, which is massive. I actually thought where we did let ourselves down was our scoring. We had 76 inside 50s to 51, and we only won by 15 points. We really let ourselves down in that part of the game. So I was disappointed in that.
You should have won by more.
Yeah,
definitely.
The back line that you guys had in did a really good job, but I thought, our midfield dominance was something that took me by surprise, but also made me very, very happy.
What I couldn't believe as well was like Prestia, how clean he is in the wet. Like, we were just fumbly slipping out of our hands. Like, we didn't play to the conditions at all. It's like we didn't know what rain would do when it came down. Like, we were just trying to play like it was a dry game. And then you see players like Prestia had grip in his hands. He was just so clean with it all.
Yeah, he's one of those players. He's not underrated. That'd be the wrong word to use for Prestia, but he's so important to us. And he's just very clean with the footy, wet or dry. And it showed on Thursday night. He was just, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was very good. Very, very noticeable. That's what we were just trying to play that handball game that served us so well all year. It's what's put us in this position. Sorry.
Come on, get it out.
It's what's put us in this position to this point. But when the rain's coming down like that and you're playing against a Richmond team who were the best wet weather team in the comp, was poor. So I thought that was poor from us. And but in saying that, that Nunes goal, I'm calling it a goal because it was. If that was paid a goal, I think we go on and win that. And I think most Richmond supporters would agree. So it's a very hard one to judge because we were not in that. Like we felt when we got that close, I was like, how the hell are we here? Like we shouldn't be here.
Well, I did say at certain stages of the game, the people I was with, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking we had a couple of ones where it went deep inside 50 and we fumbled around with it. And it was like we were complacent that we were up by so much. We didn't care, but we didn't like worry too much. And we had missed a few chances on goal. And I said a few times, I'm like, that's going to cost us because like we know how quickly Carlton's can score. And sure enough, in the last quarter, he kicked 4 goals in 4 minutes, and
Harry kicked 3 in 5 minutes.
Well, there you go. Yeah. And then that Nunes one counted, which when it went through originally, they brought it to the middle of the ground. You guys were within 3 points. So I thought, oh god, here we go.
And with all the momentum, like they were flying at that stage, and I was like, here we go. Like it was just a matter of time. We're just going to get in front here. It felt like round one again, didn't it? A little bit in that last quarter.
It really did because I thought, oh, here they go. They're going to come back, and it was just. Yeah, it was nerve wracking. I guess from both points of view, but especially us because when we were 6 goals up, it was 6 goals to nothing. Midway through the second quarter, you guys hadn't kicked a goal yet, and I was thinking we can't lose this now, can we?
I thought it was going to be a smash.
I knew we wouldn't pile away because we just don't do that unless it's West Coast. But we thought I knew Carlton would come back and make a contest of it, but I thought, we should still win by 20, 25 points or so. But yeah, you guys just did what you did best and sort of came back pretty late, pretty strong. And I think you're right. I reckon if that Nunes goal was allowed, I reckon the momentum you guys were having might have just got you over the line because it went back to the our full back and we got it from one end to the other and Shane Edwards kicked that goal and broke the momentum and it sort of snapped it.
That was it. Yeah.
That was kind of game over from there. So look, good transition work from Richmond, but we wouldn't have had that opportunity if they didn't overturn that goal. So
it's crazy how the game just flipped just like that.
Well, yeah, it's interesting too because, it's one of those things. It looks like Carlton would have won, but you never know.
Oh, you never know.
We could have got that next centre clearance, kicked a goal, and
exactly.
You don't know. So would have made it very interesting though if it went through. And I am agreeing with most Carlton supporters in saying that it shouldn't have been overturned. I don't think.
No, definitely not.
I personally think there was a touch, but I don't think it was enough of a touch that you could overturn the umpire's decision. I don't think it was clear enough and. The same thing happened earlier in the game with Shea Bolton kicking one off the ground. And I think, was it Doherty that was next to him and got a finger, looked like he had a finger to it. And there wasn't enough evidence. So they just went with the umpire's call. So, which was the right decision to go with the umpire's call. But then when it got hot, I think I'm actually very surprised because the goal umpire didn't even ask for a review.
No, they review
every goal. Yeah. That's why I'm surprised because to look at that and then, I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And look, especially if it didn't involve Richmond, I would have been pretty furious. But obviously it worked out in my favour, so I'm not saying a whole lot about it this week.
Well, we just released our Corey McKernan episode. And he says he wishes the umpires would pay free kicks like it was the grand final.
Oh, absolutely. They would never
Would that have been
that.
touched? If that was a grand final, Richmond Carlton, 5-10 minutes left, whatever it was, and we were coming back like that and to make it a 3-point game, would they have overturned that?
I bloody hope so. But no, they
wouldn't have.
No way.
Exactly.
No way.
So why can't they treat it like it is a grand final every week?
Well, you could say that about most games and most decisions that they pay. Yeah.
But why can't you have that, that, I don't know.
That mentality. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but just act like it is life on the line sort of stuff, in the game. So anyway,
was interesting.
It is what it is. It's happened now. You can't change it, but... like a lot of Carlton supporters were absolutely seething after that game. Well, not because of the loss, more just because of what transpired throughout that game as well.
Well, speaking of what transpired through the game and seething, Shea Bolton. Give us your thoughts.
I can't wait to play him next. Tell you what, he's going to be lucky to come out of the MCG alive.
Mate, Sam Doherty's going to have one out for him, isn't he? He actually went and chatted to him after the game, which was nice. But
I don't think it's Doherty. It's more I think it's more the fans. It fires up the crowd. Like when he did that, the crowd were fired up big time if they weren't already.
There were people that were fired up. There were people that were loving it, and then there were people that were just like, "What did we just see?" I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, he didn't just do that. And the worst part for me was the week before against Port Adelaide, Shea Bolton had an open goal in the exact same position and missed.
Yep.
So when you saw him do that, I was like, oh no, he's going to shank it. It went through.
And not even that. Like, what if we did come back and win?
Oh, it would have been embarrassing.
And I reckon that would have started some serious shit after the siren.
Oh yeah,
with
especially because it was early in the fourth.
It was way too early to do it.
If it was 2 minutes to go and we're up by 20, do it. Game's done. But he did it early in the fourth. He was very confident. And and then after that, I think is when you kick 4 in a row.
Yeah, straight after that. It's like that fired us up.
Yeah, which fair enough too. I thought it would have, which actually has got a little bit to do with the Richmond jumper you're wearing today. I was going to go with the regular jersey. I thought, I'm going to go with the one that Shea Bolton designed. I know you've been a big Shea Bolton fan all weekend, so I thought the one that Shea designed, I thought, let's chuck it on him. That's the reason behind the 2020 Dreamtime jersey that I've got you wearing tonight.
And the whole Shea Bolton thing, like, I understand both sides of it. Like, it's not a great look if that's your team, but then there's parts of it where you're like, you love that sort of personality, that arrogance. But the Richmond supporters is what pissed me off the most about that, because I feel like 2 weeks ago when Jack Ginnivan did that against Freo, the uproar when Jack
That was
Ginnivan,
from everybody though.
Including Richmond fans.
Yeah,
but when
including a
Shea
lot of
Bolton
people.
does it, it's completely different,
Well,
isn't it?
I would like you to have a look at what a lot of people have been saying, including our own club, who have actually come out and said that they don't agree with what he did and thought it was a terrible,
Yeah, but
a
that's
wrong
different.
thing.
I'm talking about the supporters.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
but not it's.
And
I think you're picking and choosing which supporters you're listening to and which ones you aren't.
the majority that was sitting around me, and the ones that comment on everything on Facebook and Instagram and all that.
The ones that comment on things on Facebook are what type of people?
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Yeah,
but that's what's representing your club. So
In a fashion. In
anyway,
a way,
if Jack Ginnivan did this to Richmond, how would this
that's
be
the thing.
treated?
If we just did this to get to Essendon on the weekend and Bolton did that, would you be upset with it? Dead honest.
No, I like the flair. I like the flair, but I think there's a time and place to do it. You know, if he does that with a minute to go and it seals the game, fair enough. I reckon that's fair.
Yeah.
He's done that at the start of the last quarter, and it was pretty tight at that stage.
Yeah, I think we still might have been 20 points up.
It's still tight.
But it's not a lot.
Yeah.
It's not a lot in today's game.
That's not a winning margin
No, not anymore.
at that stage.
Used to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, not anymore. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it as much as whatever.
Yeah.
I think there's bigger things to be talking about
Yeah.
than Shea Bolton's goal celebration.
There was
so.
the least of everyone's worries that night, I think.
Yeah, well, did you see Nathan Brown on the Sunday Footy Show? Actually, did a funny video.
Told
where
him how to do it properly.
Told him how to do it properly. Showed him doing it back in 2002, and then he also finished off with flipping off one of the supporters, which Shea should have done that. I reckon I think it was the Carlton cheer squad end as well.
There would have been pitch invasions if that happened.
Mate, that would have that would have been like the Romans.
Yeah, it would have. That would have.
Roman army.
That would have sent people a bit too crazy, I think. But
You can't do that anymore anyway. You'd be getting fines left, right,
Yeah.
and centre for flipping off the crowd, not like it used to be. So
no, absolutely. But yeah, it was definitely one of the most fiery games I've been to in a long time. It was good.
I'm glad though, because it lived up to the reputation. Like everyone kept saying, "Oh, this is going to be the biggest Richmond Carlton game in I don't know, like since the elimination final in 2013." Because we're both sort of up and about at the moment, both on good winning streaks. So it was always going to be a good game in terms of the passion that was around from the crowd. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, if only we played better, I think it would have been even more of a spectacle. I think we were quite average for 80% of that match.
Oh, you were. The way you guys were using the footy, I was actually quite surprised. I mean, I thought our pressure was really good. Like Jack Werewald had 3 holding the balls, and you're playing like a small forward, like roving off the front of packs. Like how often does Jack do something like that? So I thought the pressure was good too. But yeah, the turnovers you guys are doing were kicks and handballs that you would never normally do. And I thought did work in our favour, obviously. But if you guys played like you did in the last of the whole game, would have been a bit of an interesting story.
What do you think of the fight?
Oh, I mean, I don't know what it was about. I just saw the people in a big huddle. I like it. I
liked it.
I like
that
fights.
fired up the crowd too.
Oh, absolutely. I love
great.
them.
I
Like,
lost my voice.
There was
after
no
that.
punches thrown. I think a few people got fined for wrestling. Lynch and Silva.
Plowman,
Was it Plowman? Sorry, got fined for
I
wrestling.
don't know how, because there was half the team were in there.
Yeah, I don't know how you single out 2 blokes for wrestling either. That's not even that's not even something you're not allowed to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. But no, I like the fight. It's a bit of passion. It
was
fires
great.
everyone up. Even Cripps and Presti at the end of the third quarter. Was the end of the third?
That was 3/4 time.
3/4 time. Yeah,
and that all erupted.
And that all erupted. Like, that started it, and it just it was huge. I actually love the photo you see of Cripps and Presti going at it, because Presti's just looking up, like the little meatballs looking up at this 6'5" giant of Patrick Cripps, and both like solid units, but Cripps has got so much height on him.
Yeah, well, brave of Prestia, because he first of all pushes Cripps right in the back into Sam Walsh's knee, which could have broken his face.
Yeah, that was almost as deliberate as Tom Lynch poking out Adam Sard's eye that everyone was going on about, calling Lynch a dirty dog.
Still wasn't.
Suspend him.
Was that high though?
No, because Sard ducked his knees.
Actually, that That's your reasoning? Oh, you're not being serious. Eh?
No, not being
I thought you were.
But if you do have a look at the photo closely, you can actually see Saad tugging on Lynch's jumper without the footy. So it should have been holding the man, if anything. So if you want to get technical.
Still poked him in the eye, which is high, technically.
You know which one the Carlton supporters around me erupted around, and I want to know if you remember it and what you thought about it. But there was one where Sam Doherty got the football and he got taken pretty high and he ended up getting done holding the ball.
You're absolutely kidding if you think I don't remember that.
Mate, that was probably my favourite moment of the game. And
Why?
I absolutely loved it. Because I've never seen a man drop his knees harder. I don't reckon Joel Selwood has made it more obvious that he was dropping his knees into a tackle.
That gets paid every single week.
But it shouldn't. And I'm glad they didn't pay it. He picked up the footy standing up straight and he's dropped straight into it.
It was high.
He was milking that free kick and the umpire didn't bite. I loved it.
And then gets holding the ball.
Well, if you've got time to duck, you've got time to handball or kick.
Okay.
And that fired the crowd up.
I wish my phone was available right now because I've got some screenshots on there of some blatant.
You've got too much time on your hands if you've got screenshots of free kicks. You've gone back and watched them.
No. They just come up on like Twitter or something,
sure,
and I've saved them. I don't watch if I watch the replay, I watch it on the big screen, not on my phone.
You can't take a photo?
Like a pleb.
Oh, here we go.
No. All right. Before we move on from this game, because
we need to.
Yeah, we need to.
Well, we don't need to, but we will.
What did you think of the Jack Nunes? Again, Nunes is involved in something else. The sliding free kick against him.
No, the one that wasn't paid. The one that was paid against him.
The one that was paid against him in the first quarter.
I don't like the rule, but according to the rule, that was there.
But he got the ball first. He got the ball like 2 seconds before he even hit Lynch's legs.
Yeah, no. Like I said, it was Bolter, by the way. But I don't.
Bolter, one of them.
I don't agree with the rule, but according to the rule, that's a free kick. If you go to ground, you have to.
That's a terrible rule.
But then they didn't. What I didn't agree is they didn't pay it the other way. I can't remember.
5 minutes later,
but it was way worse. How Baker went and actually
Fisher
and nearly killed him.
Yeah,
and they didn't pay it. That I don't agree with. But I do agree with the Nunes one. I don't like the rule, but according to the rule, that was there.
I think that's what fires everyone up is the consistency of it. If you're going to pay that, you have to pay the other one.
But there is no consistency, and that's what I've been saying all year on this podcast. It just actually worked in Richmond's favour this week.
Yeah. So. Oh well, no, that was a good game. Well done for Richmond. I think they're back. I think they could definitely make a challenge for it. And yeah, I think positives for Carlton. We've got a lot of players out, and we only lost by 15 points. So
I think you put Jacob Wiedering back into that back line.
Yeah. Or you put Wiedering back there, Mitch McGovern, who was playing really good. Put Pitnet back in the ruck.
Pitnet and Wiedering, I think, are the two for me. I mean, everyone goes on about McDonald and McGovern as well. They played 3 good games and
not McDonald. I'd say McGovern.
McGovern
definitely.
even still though. Like I don't know. I'm not wrapped. McGovern played a couple good games. He was looking good, but like really, what's he done since he's been at Carlton?
Yeah, but it's just an
Last
option.
year, you guys wanted to get rid of him.
It's just an option.
Yeah,
we have no options.
I
right
agree
now.
that it's an
Our
option for sure.
Player
But
has done his knee.
People are talking about some of the people missing in Carlton's backline as if you're missing a lot of Alex Rances or Jacob Wiedering's. Like Wiedering, massive, obviously. Like he's the best defender in the comp. I reckon.
I think it's what we've got
It's the lack
available.
of numbers. Yeah, no, I know. It's a lack of numbers.
Sam Durden, who we picked up in the mid-season
I know,
draft,
he
has
did
just
his
done
knee.
his knee and he's out for 4. Like, how unlucky can you get?
Yeah, I know. Well, disappointing, but you guys obviously still doing all right because, like I said, it was only a 15-point margin and it should have been a lot more. So.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that means, once we get all players back and we can and play footy towards the conditions of the game, I think we'll be fine. So I'm not concerned.
No, you guys will be right. But we'll move on because we're time poor.
We are. We've got netball to play, so let's get on with it, Quinn. What?
No, I'm checking the
Are we
cameras.
not?
I heard a beep. All
right, we're still on. Let's go. Roll.
All right, let's go.
Are we talking about the arc, or we sort of mentioned that?
The arc we talked about, so that was what I wanted to talk about. We'll go to the next one, which is Jordan De Goey again. I mean, the decision from Collingwood, I think, was supposed to come out today, but I haven't heard anything out of.
He didn't go to training. He wasn't at training today.
He didn't train, but that could mean a number of things. Who knows? The club might have just said, you know what, there's a lot going on today. Stay home, take the day.
What are your thoughts on this? It's a tough one.
Yeah, look, I don't really know what was going on in the footage. We've all seen it, obviously. It didn't look great, but the woman in the video came out and defended him. So, I mean, on that front, for me, okay, well, that eliminates any issue in that sort of setting. But I think just stupid. He was locked up 6 months ago. Why?
It's foolish.
You're allowed to do what you want. The club gave you permission, so it's almost on the club at this point as well. But just why put yourself in that position where stuff like this could arise? For starters, like it's just, I don't know. I think it was dumb of him to put himself in that kind of position to begin with. I mean, your club's pushing for finals, playing seriously good footy. You're the barometer of your club, like a genuine, gun. And then you're going away, putting like yourself in disrepute essentially. And, I mean, if this person didn't come out and defend him, what if she came out and said, oh, I didn't, I wasn't consenting to any of this stuff. And then he goes right back in hot water again, where rightfully so he should be, but he's had too many close, narrow calls and run-ins with the league and the rules and the law and whatever you want to call it. But I think it was dumb. And I don't know I feel like Collingwood would do what they always do and back him in again, because technically, it's a bad look, but he's done nothing wrong. So I think they'll back him, but I don't know. When's enough?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's done anything wrong, but I thought his post that he did, having a go at the media and everything, I feel like if that comes from anyone else, that's fine. That's a good post, needed. But with his rap sheet, it's a bit rich coming from him, isn't it?
No, he's done this to himself.
Enough is enough, mate. You've been found guilty of harassment and everything.
Is it the media's fault that you drink driving and lost your license, or
exactly
or is it the media's fault you bottled someone in America?
Yeah.
It's silly.
I understand that the witch hunt and everything for certain players, but I mean, I don't think he has much leg to stand on. With your history, which wasn't even that long ago, to go and it's not a great look. No matter what you're doing, it's not a great look, even if he's being an angel over there.
Oh, 100%. So I think, I think he's done nothing wrong on this occasion. I don't see any issue with it. The club's ticked it off. They've let him go. He's not breaking protocol, breaching any rules. But I think you're just stupid for putting yourself in that situation, because you've had too many run-ins in recent times. So anyway, that's my say on Jordan DeGoey, or DePuy as we call him here.
We'll see. By the time this episode's released, we'll probably have a better idea of what's actually gone down with the club.
Yeah. So it was supposed to come out today, or so they were saying. So we'll see if it comes out tonight or maybe tomorrow morning now. We'll have to wait. But anyway, we'll move on. We've got the
Suns.
Mate, the Gold Coast are still soaring, aren't they?
Doing well.
Mate, they've got an ability to score really quickly as well, similar to Carlton, like I mentioned earlier, with their quick scoring. Because I looked at the game in the last quarter, I switched back on. I switched on and off throughout the day, and I think Adelaide had come back within, it was 13 points. So only a couple of kicks out of the game in the last quarter. I'm like, oh, geez, it's making a tight contest. Honestly, I kid you not, I went to make a coffee. I came back and Gold Coast were 40 points up. I'm like, what? That, I couldn't believe it. And there was only, I think when there was 13 points, there's only 6, 7, 8 minutes left in the game. There wasn't long. And they're just playing really good footy. They've got a decent draw ahead of them. I can't see, there's no reason why they can't play finals this year.
Yeah,
I think it's just the teams around them that might be playing good footy as well that could hold them out. But I mean, if the Saints keep losing, and who knows? So I reckon they can play finals this year, and they're looking great.
They're right in the hunt. I think, as you said, it's just going to be those teams around them, like the Bulldogs as well, who they're level with. They're just going to rely on some of them to drop some games. But they're playing great footy. It must be the Levi Casbolt effect,
or the Marby Chol.
Yeah, maybe one of them. They're doing good things.
A couple of Richmond and Carlton, I want to say rejects, because not really, but they've moved on from those clubs, and they're killing it.
Yeah, no, they are. They're doing really well. I think the young players are finally starting to produce consistently as well. I think Isaac Rankin's had a good patch of form as well. So, who knows? Who knows with them? I'd love to see them, finish in the finals. I have called it. I called it a few weeks ago on the big call. So, let's see if that can happen.
Absolutely.
Big Dewey up there.
We'll wait and see. Only time will tell.
Exactly.
As they say.
Shall we preview round 15?
Let's do it. Let's get into it. It's a big game on the Thursday night, which...
Thank God the bye are done, because that was ridiculous.
It was
those
weird.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Although I still think about it, I still am happy we don't have 1 week with no footy, but... I don't know.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough one. I still think I prefer the 3 rounds, but I think either way I'm not going to like something about it. So it is what it is, but... Thursday night, another
it's a big
clash.
It's a massive round. Have you seen the matchups?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's like a mini final series this weekend.
It's going to be a very heated week of footy, and it starts on a Thursday night, which is good because it's going to be a good television game to watch, because no Melbourne supporters will rock up, as we know.
Well, let's see if they get over 20,000 there. It'd be a good effort.
Thursday night, I thought we did all right, by the way, just quickly, on Thursday night. 50,000 cold, wet, rainy day. 50,000
It would have been very
easy
to stay at home on that night.
I think a few got out. If it was on a Sunday, you probably would have got 80, but...
Yeah.
That was all right. But anyway, we'll get into the Melbourne game. Melbourne need to win this, don't they?
Well, they do.
3 losses in a row.
They do. I think both teams really. if they drop this and they lose 4 games in a row, can they still win the flag?
Yeah, I think if you play Melbourne in a home final, they're still scary.
Yeah. But
yeah, I still think Melbourne can win the flag, even if they lose this week.
I think
there'll be question marks for sure, but I still think they can win it if they lose.
Did you hear Leo Montagna say that they could miss the finals?
Come on, Joey.
So that is just media just absolutely making outlandish calls.
They're just doing stuff for clicks because, Joey, they're not going to miss finals. They're
not missing finals.
They were 10 and zip.
They were arguably going to be the greatest team of all time a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they were 10
going to
and
go
zip.
through undefeated.
Yeah, you can lose 3 in a row. It's fine. Anyway, Melbourne is still a very, very good side. So not to be
Richmond
taken
lose
lightly.
3 in a row in 2019 and 17.
And 17, yeah. So
it happens.
Yeah, it's going to happen. But it's going to be interesting. I think Melbourne can bounce back at the G. I think they're going to do it. It's going to be at the MCG. No Gawn, which hurts obviously, but Jackson's a star, so he'll be all right there. And it'll be interesting to see how the Brisbane go away from home as well. This is a big challenge for them too. So I'm going to end up tipping the Ds purely for the MCG advantage. I think if this is at the Gabba, Brisbane would have this one under wraps.
Yeah, no, D's for me as well. I think they will definitely bounce back. It's been a big month for them. A lot's going on, and I think the break definitely came at the right time.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Friday night, Doggies Hawks.
Another big one.
It is a big one.
Another big one.
It?
I mean,
because the Doggies just need to keep winning.
Dogs need to keep winning, and Hawthorn just are continually improving each week. So it's going to be a good one. I think the Dogs will get this one done. I think they've hit their form pretty well. And I don't know if Josh Bruce will play another game in the VFL or if he'll come back in this week.
He dominated, didn't he?
He dominated. So if they get Bruce back this week as well with Norton, just off Norton kicking 5 last week, they're going to do some scary things going forward. So, the Dogs will get this one done.
Yeah, Dogs too. Double header on a Friday. So there's 2 games on the Friday. We've got West Coast and Essendon. Massive game.
The bottom feeders.
Oh, yes. This is huge for the bottom part of the ladder.
I've heard Essendon fans are actually flying over after their big win on the weekend. So they've won a game. So they're heading over to WA to see if they can get another one. But
the crazy thing about Essendon, they looked good on last Friday.
No, they did. They looked very good. We make jokes.
Where's that been?
Yeah, that's great. Great question. I mean, Saints probably let them play into their hand a little bit as well, but I thought that Essendon actually looked very good on the weekend. They played like that all year and consistently. They'd be a pretty decent side.
Yeah.
So
they look good.
Interesting, but
danger game because I thought West Coast were actually pretty good against Geelong.
I'm tipping West Coast.
Ooh.
I think WA, they had 4 premiership players come back in on the weekend, I believe it was. So they got almost no excuses at this point. I don't know. I just think they're probably looking at Essendon thinking, we're not going to win many more games this year.
They'll see this as a big opportunity.
They'll see this as a big opportunity, and I reckon in WA they might just get the job done. And Essendon have been too inconsistent for me to think that they've found form again.
Yep.
So I'm tipping West Coast. I know it's not the favourable opinion, but
I'm not brave enough to tip West Coast in any way, shape, or form this year.
Which is a fair enough call.
Yeah, I think the Bombers will win, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if West Coast do get up because I thought they improved a lot last week. Saturday Arvo, Carlton Freo at Marvel. This is a serious big game.
This is huge. Well, Freo actually have a couple of games coming up at Marvel Stadium, which are going to be big. But Freo, Carlton, the last couple of years have had some really good clashes, like close games too. Yep. So it's going to be a very interesting game. I think my decision on who I think will win this one depends. Has anyone taken Charlie Curnow out of Dylan Grimes' pocket yet? Or is he still there? Because if they're taking him out, I reckon the Blues can get this one done.
Have they taken Grimes out of prison for his manhandling and assault of Charlie Curnow that night and nothing got paid as well?
Innocent until proven guilty, mate.
Piss off.
No, I think the Blues can bounce back in this one. Marvel Stadium, you guys tend to play some good footy there. I know Freo are in some form at the moment, but you guys will be disappointed after the Richmond game, and Vossi no doubt will have shoved a rocket up most players' arse, I reckon. So I reckon you guys will come back firing this week. No backline obviously hurts, but yeah, I think your midfield group and forward group is strong enough to get this one done.
Yeah, I hope Wiedering can have a Harry Mackay style miracle and get up for this a couple of weeks ahead of schedule, but I don't think he is. But yeah, I mean, who would have thought that Carlton would be? I'd rather be playing at Marvel right now than at the MCG.
The MCG would suit Freo a lot, wouldn't it?
And
their open style
and the way we play is like that dry, like handball happy kind of game where everything sort of needs to be perfect.
Yeah.
So I think we'll win. We have to. And yeah, Freo coming off the bye as well, I think maybe might affect that as well. That could be a bit sluggish, but who knows? I think it's going to be a great game.
They're fresh.
Yeah, either way, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, some teams don't do
9 day,
well off the
9 day
bye.
break for you as well. So
yeah, exactly. So fingers crossed we could get some players back, but I'm not going to hold my breath about it. But yeah, I think we can win.
Yeah,
it'd be a great game though.
Carlton for both of us.
Yep. Geelong Richmond. Oh, this is a big game.
This is a big game.
Another one. See, they're everywhere.
Yeah, another one that's always pretty tight.
Geelong
between the two
home game
sides.
at the MCG.
Yeah,
this is going to come
Geelong
up again,
supporters,
isn't it?
yeah, Geelong supporters love that. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like crowds have been that big this year anyway. Give Geelong the home game.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm glad it's at the G. It obviously helps us a lot, but yeah, I don't. I can see why they do it for a final or a game you're expecting 80,000 plus because, you know, you're going to have a bigger crowd, more money, obviously more income comes in for both clubs and the AFL. But in a Saturday afternoon twilight game, like shocking time for footy, 4:35. I don't know.
Going?
I'm going to try to go. I'm playing footy that day. So
Tight.
I presume I'll be playing the early game on Saturday, so I should be able to get there, but hopefully not. But I've got tickets, so I should be going. So wait and see. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Richmond copped a couple of injuries after Carlton, which could hurt us a lot. Noah Bolter's gone. Trent Cotchin's out next week.
You had no injuries before last week.
No, so we lost Bolter with a hamstring. Cotchin's cracked a bone in his chest. He has to have surgery this week.
Jeez.
And Robbie Tarrant is having surgery on a broken knuckle he did in the first quarter. And he could be back. If he comes back, I think we're a good chance because we can stop Tom Hawkins. I feel like they're a good match for each other because they're both slow but solid boys. I think that could be a good match. And Dusty's back in the lineup. But Dangerfield could be back for Geelong, so I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Be a good game.
I think Geelong are in better form. I mean, Richmond look like on paper like we're in better form, but I don't know. I think the way we score isn't heavy enough to beat some really good sides, and Geelong don't really have any injuries at the moment. So I think Geelong might just get the job done, but I wouldn't be surprised if Richmond pinched one, and we are the favourites. So
yeah. From what I saw from Richmond last week, I think you guys will get the job done. I think you're in that scary form again. And yeah, with Dusty back and if it rains like it has been in Melbourne non-stop for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think you guys will win. So
if it rains, it changes my decision. Yeah.
Saturday night, we've got Sydney and St Kilda, another massive game.
I mean, I think just being at the SCG and St Kilda just seemed to have been just, I don't know, there's something about them. There's no grunt about them.
Too inconsistent they are.
Yeah.
Same with Sydney as well. They've been a bit up and down.
Up and down, but I don't know. I think the Swans are going to get this one done. I just haven't really seen, I guess for a lack of a better term, there's no see you next Tuesday about St Kilda at the moment. They probably need to find a little bit of it if they want to play finals. Yeah, and that doesn't help, obviously, but there was a bit of a lack of fight from them against the Bombers on the weekend, and I'm not really sure where they're at. But I think at the SCG, Sydney, up and down, but I think are a better side, so I'm going to go with the Swans.
Yeah, Swans for me as well. Sunday, we've got North and Adelaide. I mean, it's a big game for the bottom part. Like, North need a win. They've lost 11 in a row.
This is a winnable one for North Melbourne. This is a little bit like the West Coast game. It's
down in Tassie. Their future home.
Their future home. Down in Tassie, it's a winnable game. They're going to be, thinking to themselves, this is one of our only chances we've got left for the year and go all out. But I think Adelaide have shown some really good signs this year, and I think they'll win.
Yeah. I think Adelaide will win, but yeah, North after the break, can they get a win in? I'm not too sure, but they've lost 11 in a row.
They need to win.
They need to get one on the board, surely. Collingwood GWS at the MCG.
Oh, the Hot Pies for me. They're playing.
Hot Pies.
I don't know why. They're up and about at the moment. I'm not hating them as much as I normally would. I don't know what it is. I think they're playing an exciting brand of footy. So I think Hot Pies will get this one done for me. And Giants, I mean, they played all right on the weekend. Toby Green kicked 7, but when you're kicking 7 in a losing side, there's something else that's not clicking. So I think, Collingwood for me.
Yeah, Pies as well. Final game of the round, Port and Gold Coast. This will be good.
This is actually a massive game because Port are coming back up. They had a really good win on the weekend. And then Gold Coast, same thing. They're flying too. It's going to be tough. I think Adelaide Oval gives Port a bit of the upper hand. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
So, I think Port for me just because it's at Adelaide.
Yeah, Port as well. But if the Suns win this, they can win the flag.
Gee, save it for the big call, mate.
No, I think if the Suns win this, 100% not lock them in, but
they should be playing finals.
They deserve to play if they can knock Port off at the Adelaide Oval.
No, absolutely.
Cool. All right, that is round 15. Blockbusters everywhere. I don't think I've seen a round like this for a very long time.
Where it's going to be a very good week for
something
football.
on the line pretty much in every game. So it's going to be great to watch. Crimea River.
Yeah, let's get into it. It's going to be a quick one today, but I've got off the top of my head, so let's roll. All right, I did say I'll be quick, so I'll get it over and done with. And it does revolve around Port Adelaide, who we just spoke about. And he's actually left Port Adelaide now, and he's gone to the Sydney Swans. Peter Luddams struck Ollie Wines on the ground, punched to the gut or the ribs, wherever it was. I can't remember exactly. But my gripe with this isn't the hit itself. Well, I mean, it is, I guess, in a way. But the MRO has given him 1 week for a blatant, and it wasn't just a light tap. Like, I don't know if you've seen the footage. He swung with intent to harm.
Bizarre.
And he's been given a week. Now, I brought this one up a few times, but I do because, like, the Marlon Pickett one, nearly a couple of months ago now, got suspended for a week for a bump that didn't even contact a player high, and it was a footballing act, got 1 week. How can you grade the Peter Luddams deliberate punch the same sentence?
That's ridiculous.
They say they want to stamp out hits, and I know it's not a hit to the head, but he's deliberately punched him. How is it only a week? So that's my gripe this week. Peter Luddams, first of all, don't strike former teammates.
No.
Like, you played with this guy for how many years? Don't go swinging at him.
They were in his head big time that day. Rent-free.
Yeah, they were all over. They did it on purpose. Like, they got it. And obviously got to him. It worked. But then, for him to only have been given 1 week for that was ridiculous in my eyes.
Shocking. So, it was poor. Really bad. Bizarre brain fade for him. I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Someone messaged me about it, and I wasn't watching at the time, and I thought, like, it must have been just, like a bit of an on the ball type thing. And I went and watched it, and I'm like, oh God, he's put the gloves on. So
crazy.
Wasn't a fan of that or the decision to give him 1 week.
Yeah. I'm going to have to pass on my big call tonight, just simply because we were out of time. And
you can't think of anything.
And I can't think of anything.
yet. We don't have the time for you to think of something, let's be honest.
I'll do a quick one. Shay Bolton's a dickhead. All right, let's wrap up there.
It's not a false call, mate. It's a big call. So.
Yeah. All right, well, that is it. As we said, blockbusters galore this weekend, so can't wait for that. We've got some netball to play, so we've got to go, but we will chat to you next week.